Hello everyone and welcome back to Up to Speed, a show that brings you up to speed on some of the big stories within the sports world this week. Starting with the NFL, New York Jets corner Darrelle Revis has been released on non-monetary bond after turning himself into the police Friday night. Revis has been charged with 4 felonies and a misdemeanor from an altercation occurring in Pittsburgh. He is slated to return to court this Thursday. Revis did not speak to the media, but his lawyer Blaine Jones did and says, "Revis has a very good case. We will see what turns out on Thursday." A big contract signing in Miami as Pro Bowl defensive end Cameron Wake has reached an agreement for a 2-year extension worth $19 million and $11 million guaranteed. Wake, age 35, bounced back from a season-ending Achilles injury in 2015 to having a Pro Bowl year this year with the Dolphins. Exciting news for the Dolphins fans as that front four they have is extremely deadly. Some unfortunate news is running back Zach Stacy has announced his retirement from the NFL due to a career-ending ankle injury that occurred in 2015. Stacy was a 5th-round pick for the Rams in 2013, but was last seen in a Jets uniform. Stacy finished with 1,355 total rushing yards along with 9 touchdowns. Hopefully Stacy can find something outside of football to keep him afloat. Now on to the NBA. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said he and NBPA Executive Director Michelle Roberts agree that the issue of the NBA age minimum needs to be studied. The minimum early entry age for the NBA draft currently sits at 19. The league's goal is to bump the age up to 20 to achieve more academic experience. The new CBA contract goes into effect on July 1st, and neither side can opt out of the agreement made until after the 2022-23 season. So who remembers Jimmer Fredette, the sharpshooter from BYU and a first-round pick for the Milwaukee Bucks in 2011? Well, he has taken his talents to China as he notched up 73 points Sunday as the Shanghai Sharks won in double overtime. Believe it or not, this is not the highest-scoring single game in the CBA. Fredette's 73-point performance only ranks 4th. It's always interesting to see players succeed in other leagues around the world. Just goes to show how talented the NBA truly is. The NBA All-Star Weekend was underway as New Orleans has been slated to host. Several events occurred such as a dunk contest, 3-point contest, skills challenge, and obviously the All-Star Game. Knicks forward Kristaps Porzingis took the trophy in the skills contest. Eric Gordon slipped by Kyrie Irving in the 3-point contest. Pacers guard Glenn Robinson III won the dunk contest, and the Western Conference had the nod in the actual All-Star Game itself. Pelicans forward Anthony Davis won the MVP. Now, many say that the All-Star Game is losing its appeal to the viewer. At least from what I hear, no one really watches it. Hopefully the NBA can put a spark into it next year. On to the NHL. Hockey might be coming to Mexico City. In the past 12 months, Mexico City has hosted games from the NFL, MLB, NBA, and the UFC. Mexico City has recently added in an arena, Ciudad de Mexico, to possibly hold the events. We have the Ice Dome, which is a public venue built in the city for winter sports. We have a rink in San Jeronimo, and there's a talk of another hockey rink being built soon, said Mexican Hockey Federation President Joaquin de la Guarma. A very interesting story as Mexico City is making its name known to the world sports. The Vegas Golden Knights, who recently were announced, will change the trade deadline for the NHL. This year will be different as there will be an expansion draft for this team. Some of the rules including the Vegas franchise must select 1 player from each presently existing club for a total of 30 players. There must be 14 forwards, 9 defensemen, and 3 goalies, and they must choose a minimum of 20 players who are under contract for the 2017-18 season. Supposedly many teams around the league are not happy about this draft, as stated blatantly this week. It will be interesting to see what happens when it actually does come around. This has been another episode of Up to Speed. Make sure to tune in Thursday for more stories within the sports world that you might have missed. Hello everyone and welcome back to Up to Speed, a show that brings you up to speed on some of the big stories within the sports world this week. Starting with the NBA, the Sacramento Kings threw a curveball as they ended up trading DeMarcus Cousins to the New Orleans Pelicans Monday, just 2 weeks after proclaiming that he was off the market. The Kings will receive Buddy Hield, Tyreek Evans, Langston Galloway, a 2017 first-round pick, and a 2017 second-round pick. Seems to me that the Kings had enough of Boogie Cousins and are looking to start fresh. The Pelicans have moved up 10 spots in the NBA power rankings after this trade per ESPN. It will be interesting to see how the team meshes together. Sacramento Kings owner Vivek Ranadive wants to see the NBA in India. This past year, we have seen the NBA in Mexico City and other places around the world. Renadiv said, "I think there are 3 factors that will help make my dream come true, which is to make basketball the second most popular sport in India. Cricket will always be the national pastime, but I think basketball can be a strong number 2. Could India be the next landing spot for an NBA game? Now, on to the NFL." Looks like Antonio Brown does not have to worry about his future at all. Pittsburgh Steelers general manager Kevin Colbert says, "We want Antonio to retire as Steeler for life." Brown, age 28, is considered one of the best receivers in the league and has been a key piece of the Steelers' offense for the past several seasons. He has 1 year left on a 5-year, $42 million contract that he signed back in 2012. The Miami Dolphins agreed to a trade this Monday to acquire Jacksonville Jaguars tight end Julius Thomas for a 2017 7th-round draft pick. Also, in a separate trade, the Jaguars will receive Brandon Albert. Now, if you remember, Thomas had a breakout year with the Denver Broncos as he was lucky enough to have the great Peyton Manning throwing to him. It'll be interesting to see how Thomas fits in with the Dolphins' offense as their last big-name tight end, Jordan Cameron, who is now on the verge of being released from the team due to contract obligations. Former NFL running back Trent Richardson is facing a misdemeanor domestic violence charge in Alabama. Police in the Birmingham suburb of Hoover say that 26-year-old Richardson was jailed Friday in Hoover City Jail with a bond set at $1,000. He was released Friday afternoon just before 3 p.m. Now, on to the MLB. This February marks the first time in 15 years that the Big Papi, David Ortiz, hasn't reported to spring training. While his former team took on its 3rd day of full squad workouts, Ortiz posted an Instagram video stating, "This is my spring training." A well-deserved break for Big Papi. The Washington Nationals have reached an agreement with former Baltimore Orioles catcher Matt Wieters on a 2-year, $21 million deal. The Orioles are hoping to replace catcher Wilson Ramos, who signed with the Tampa Bay Rays this offseason. The Nationals season was a disappointing one last year, so hopefully the powerful bat of Wieters can help them get back on track. This has been another episode of Up to Speed. Make sure to tune in next week for more stories within the sports world that you might have missed.